Okay, the first step to install is to open a web browser and go to 7zip.org. And if you're on Windows, which you probably are, just download this first one here. And once it's done downloading, and once that's done, you're done with the first step. The next step is to install standard tools. There's a bunch of different sources. I'm going to be using this one here. So click on standard tools. I'm just going to double click. Then I'm going to press download. Hit download anyways. It's too large to scan. And then you'll go to downloads, which will be right here. If you chose to save it somewhere else, then it would save there. So right click. You're going to hit extract all. And then we're going to hit browse desktop. I'm going to right click, new folder, name this standard tools, and then select folder, extract. Now, I guess you think if you're on Windows 11, you don't need 7-zip necessarily, but it just sometimes it makes it easier. If you're on Windows 11, you don't really need it, but this will take a while, especially if you're on a slower computer. So just let this go and then come back. If you're not on Windows 11, you'll need to use the 7-zip we just installed. To do that, go here, go to computer, C drive, and then go to users. And then whatever user you're on, this is the ISTA user. And then go to where you just saved it. I saved it to the downloads. Double click on it, extract. Click here, click desktop. And then make new folder. And then just hit OK. But I already extracted it, so I'm not going to do it again. That's how you would do it. Okay, now that we have the standard tools downloaded and extracted, we'll go here, click in here, and then there's a text document here for install instructions, which I will be using to help me through this. If you already, confident enough, you can just, stop the video and go through this at your own pace if you're technically skilled. If not, just follow along. It will make this pretty easy. So first thing you need to do, double click on this. If it asks you to type your admin password in, then you do that. That's why it went black, just because it doesn't want to show my personal stuff. Hit OK. Now this error is going to pop up. It's going to say, oh, it can't be installed. That's okay. I'm going to right click, hit properties, and I'm going to go to compatibility. I'm going to click the checkbox, run this program in compatibility mode for Windows 7. We'll click OK. And then we will try to run it again. And now we can see that it's working. So hit next, hit I accept this agreement, next, 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 next. Now you want to uncheck every one of these. Next. Okay. Next. Next. Install. Hit no, I'll restart the computer later. Then go ahead and hit finish. Um, okay, now we need to keep this window open. We'll just right click on our File Explorer, hit File Explorer, make a new window. Okay, now that I have the windows side by side, we need to go to this PC, our Windows C drive, and then we're going to select, press and hold the Control button, click EC Apps, eDABAS, and NCS Expert. And then we're going to right click, hit delete. Okay. And then now we go back to our standard tools. And then we're going to copy over EC apps, press and hold Control, and left click. eDABus, NC Expert. We're going to right click and hit copy. And then we're going to go back over here to our PC, and we're going to hit paste. Okay, now that it's done copying over, on our standard tools folder, we're going to double click on OCX, and then we're going to hit Control and just copy all these files, and then right click, copy, or Control C. Now we're going to go back to our this PC, our C drive, and then we're going to go to Windows, and then scroll down for syswow 64, and then we're just going to right click and hit paste or Control V. Now this normally won't show up, but since I already have ISTA installed on a different user, it will. Now we go down to our search bar here, and we're going to search for command prompt, then hit run as administrator. You need to make sure you run as administrator, else this will not work. Sorry, I misspoke. There's not a space here. I'll make sure I edit that out. Okay, now type regsvr32 comctl.ocx. It'll say succeeded, hit OK, and then now type in regsvr32 msflxgrd. Type that one in, and then do the same thing for this one. These commands are in the instructions if you just want to copy and paste them over, or again, if you don't need the video. And just X out all the windows we had. So now back to our standard tools folder, or whatever you named it. Go in here and we'll click BMW Tools, and we can just copy this over to our desktop. Okay. Now we can click on it here, and we see we have all the tools. This is really the one we need here is IMPA in order to install ISTA. Now I went ahead. Okay, for the next part, we'll need to use the device manager to configure our cable. So if you have it with you, go ahead and plug it in. If not, you just want to set up ISTA, that's fine. You can just come back to the step later. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to stay consistent with the instructions that are provided. So the first thing you want to do is plug in your cable to the USB port on your laptop or computer that you intend to use. Once it's plugged in, go to Device Manager. Go here under Ports, COM, and LPT. Right click here, hit Properties. Under Port Settings, go to Advanced, COM port number, choose COM1. Under Latency Timer, put this to 1. That's all you need to do, hit OK. OK. Now your cable should work. Now for the next step, you want to go ahead and reboot your computer, unfortunately, just to make sure this is installed right. You can go back to your drive page, which I'll have linked down below, or if you have another source somewhere. And now we're going to install the ISTA, so we'll double click on it. We'll hit download, or you can click it here. Doesn't really matter. And now it's about 10 gigabytes, so it's going to take a little bit. So just pause the video and come back or do something else while you wait. Okay, now that it's done installing, you find out where it downloaded to. In my case, since I have a new installed Windows, it just goes to the downloads. The same thing, we're just going to extract all. You can go here, or you can open it with 7-zip like I showed previously. Here, I'm going to browse just so it gets a new folder. I'm going to name this one ISTA. It doesn't really, sorry, new folder. ISTA. ISTA is done extracting, you can double click on it. Then you can find the ISTA install instructions. Again, if you're technically savvy, you can just end the video and go and do this on your own. If you want to watch through, just go ahead and stick around and I'll walk through all the steps. I'll just put this on my other monitor. The first step says make sure you have standard tools installed, which we do. So we're going to go to the pre-install folder, and basically what you need to do is you need to install all of these files. So the first one, I agree, install. Oh, looks like it's already installed, so that's okay. That's to be expected. Same thing for the second one. Don't worry if it says setup failed. C++ looks like we already have it installed, so we don't need to do anything there. Yep. If you don't have it installed, then just proceed through. It says it's already installed, so we don't need to worry about that. So it looks like it's Java, which I think I already have installed. But install. And we'll just wait for this to finish. Okay. Now it says that Java is successfully installed, so we just hit close. Really Microsoft. Okay, now that Edge is done being annoying, we can run the sixth one here. Do run 7. Just hit yes. Yes. Okay. Do the same thing for 8 and 9. Run. Yes. Yes. Okay. Run. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to ISTA, go Wrangle, and Control C, and then we're going to open a new window. And then we're going to go to this PC, and then we go to Program Files x86, and then we go to Wrangle. Sorry, I misspoke. Just move this over. Okay, so now that I have the stuff moved over, basically done, almost. So now we can go in here, our Wrangle folder, and we can go to tester GUI, bin, release. Then now you're going to find ISTA GUI, just right here. Right click, and click some more options. And then looking for create shortcut. Yes. So just ask, it's like, oh, we can make a shortcut here. Make it on the desktop, yes. Okay. And now we want to go to our ISTA license. We'll go here. I hit Control A and then Control C to copy all of this. And then we can go to our desktop. Here's our shortcut we just made here, which we can rename it. Okay, I stopped the video there for a second because I thought I messed it up. So what I did is I tried just double clicking on this and it didn't run. It said, nope, your configuration's invalid. You messed something up. So what I did to fix it is I right clicked, hit run as administrator, more recording. Okay, so say it's not active or expire. So hit next, next. Now here's where our license comes in. We hit Control V here, and we hit next. IS for ISIS, just press 1, hit finish. Okay, so this means you just can't connect to the dealer network, which is expected because we're not on their network and we don't intend doing that stuff. Hit OK. Now it closed out. Let's try going back in. Hit yes. Okay, same, be patient. Okay, so great. So it looks like it worked. So in order to maximize this, go up to the gray here and just double tap your left mouse. Boom. Just hit Control A and then Control C. What it does